everybody. Welcome back again to Austin Sports Weekend. It is football time in Tennessee. It's college football time everywhere. Thanks again for hopping back in here with us. Thanks again for SevereTV.com for the studio. Thanks again for Autographs Plus for sponsoring us. Give us a couple cool signed helmets here to keep on the stage with us. But it is time for college football. We have already been through 5 weeks.
It's good. Going by too fast.
It is going by way too fast for me. I love college football. And while you wait 10 months to have 2 months of football, it feels
like 3 months at
3
most.
months at the most, yeah. But anyways, we have to jump in, and we're going to cover the top 15 teams. And then we always talk about Tennessee first. So let's go ahead and talk about Tennessee's game last week. South Carolina came to Tennessee. Tennessee needed this game really. It was a night game. The blackout mode. They even had black pads on the field goal post, which I thought was awesome. They were complete black. I mean, there was a blackout. It was everything.
Not only it seemed like this was not exactly what Spencer Rattler wanted.
No, honestly, I did a little research, and South Carolina arguably has the worst offensive line in the SEC, maybe in the country, but definitely.
Why in the world do you have that offensive line? And some people were picking them to go 9-3. I don't think that's gonna. They already got 3 losses.
They've already, yeah. You think they're gonna win out from this point then?
Not at this point.
No. Honestly, I thought South Carolina might have a better time than what they did, but Rattler didn't throw. I thought he would throw for a 200 yards, 250, couple touchdowns.
He didn't throw for a single touchdown.
He didn't throw for any touchdowns.
He threw a painful back-breaking pick six.
He did throw a touchdown, just to the wrong jersey. So he did get a touchdown pass there, and they got hammered. They got hammered pretty bad. Our defense tore him up, man.
Some might say that
we got defensive
defensive
player of the week out of it.
Some might rebuke that it's not as bad as what the South Carolina did to Tennessee last year, but it's a beatdown nonetheless.
Well, as I said, this game really doesn't have anything to do with last year, but it was enjoyable giving them the L. They took the L. And they can take the L with them and back, and they can just sit on that L.
I got some fried chicken though.
Oh, we definitely got some fried chicken out of that one. Tennessee's running game again was spectacular.
Yep.
Their passing game's still a little iffy.
Joe Milton keeps. I think he keeps hesitating while throwing sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know if our passing game is ever going to be the top elite passing game
like it was last year.
Like it was last year, but it can still be a good passing game. I mean, we still had a good passing game. But our running game right now is just spectacular. We've got a 3-headed monster in that backfield, and all 3 of those running backs are so good. They've always got a fresh man in there. There's nobody tired.
I think this is the last time we play South Carolina for a while.
Yeah, I know they're not on the schedule for next week. Next week we go into
next year.
That's what I'm talking about. Next year, the SEC conference is going to a one single conference and realigning everything, and I know Tennessee does not play South Carolina next year, so we'll be on a rotation with them instead of a yearly thing now, which is okay. South Carolina's not really a Tennessee rival. I don't want to lose Florida.
I mean,
Florida don't want to lose
historic.
Georgia. Don't want to lose Vandy
or Alabama.
Or there's certain teams that Tennessee is known to play. And
if you take those away, it just takes away some of that excitement.
Away some of the excitement.
If you take away that Florida game, that really hurts because
it
it's
hurts.
like
I want to see it. I would miss it. Even though we haven't won in Florida 2 times in the past 50 years, I still want to see it. I mean, I want that chance, But anyways, Tennessee had a really impressive week. We're proud of Tennessee. Haddon come in, and if you look at Haddon's number, he had to pick 6. People have been giving him a hard time. He's actually having a all-star numbers wise. If you look at his numbers, he's all-star. So shout out to Haddon, man. That was spectacular.
I want Tim Banks to force more turnovers. That's the only complaint.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our top 15. Do a little recap on week 5. Like we mentioned, Friday night, we did have a top 15 matchup on Friday.
And it did not go well for Utah.
No, Utah, number 10, playing at number 19, Oregon State. and Oregon State. We picked Oregon State. I think Oregon State was favored by
The
2.5.
injuries have really hurt Utah, and that
Yeah.
really showed in this game. They got 2 more injuries now.
2 more injuries, and they were only able to score 7 points. So they struggled. They struggled there a little bit. We had Penn State at Northwestern.
You know what's coming. Big
Big
game,
James.
We need a T-shirt.
This was a 27-point line, and honestly, I didn't think Penn State would win by 20. They won by 28 on a last-minute touchdown drive because of a turnover. But they still won it, and they still pulled the line. They got it by 28. We had USC over Colorado. USC. I'm starting to have more and more doubts
I
about
bet.
the quality of the team. Their offense
It's
is
high tier.
elite.
They are high tier offensively.
But for the team as a whole,
They got problems.
they got some problems.
That defense is awful.
The defense
first and
is awful.
foremost. They gave up 20 or 21 straight unanswered points to
Yeah.
Colorado and almost blew the game.
Almost blew the game. Yeah, when you get up 20, 30 points,
You got to keep
you
it
should put a team away.
instead of giving them momentum and almost losing the game.
You shouldn't end up, with a onside kick for the try to tie the game. You should never get to that point if you're up 30 points. So
But that's a staple under Lincoln Riley. He never has a competent defense.
he left the Big 12, but he didn't leave the defense there. He still got that Big 12 defense. They got the W, and on paper, that's all that matters. Is right now is the W.
They did drop in the standings, though,
Yeah.
so that should probably tell you that the doubts are creeping in.
Yeah, and honestly, if they were to play Washington right now or Oregon,
That defense would give up so many points
I don't
that
know.
Caleb Williams and company would struggle
yeah.
to keep up.
We had our number 1 Georgia Bulldogs at Auburn, and they drove the
Auburn-
struggle bus. I thought Auburn was going to win that game.
And Auburn is a historic rival for Georgia. The Deep South's the Deep South's most hated rivalry, right?
Yeah, Tennessee always plays Alabama. Georgia
Always plays
Auburn.
And Auburn, man, they gave him a fight for
They
60
gave them
minutes.
everything. I honestly really thought that Auburn was going to win it, and I think they had chances to win it.
But the offense, maybe this is the kind of game, though. I saw something to build on for Auburn if you were
They
an
did,
Auburn
yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
Taking Georgia to the brink at home
Mm-hmm.
should definitely give you some positive feelings on Hugh Freeze going
Yeah.
forward.
Hugh Freeze, again, this is his first year coming in.
And to compete like this with Georgia in the first year,
I think Hugh Freeze is a good coach, so we'll just see what he does in
But,
in
Kirby
the
Smart-
future year.
but Kirby Smart is still keeping that win streak alive. I don't know how long that's going to last.
He has a tendency to play down to competition too, so I'm questioning whether Georgia makes it through an undefeated season. I mean,
When it comes to consistency-
as cream puff marshmallow, and they've got maybe the cream puffiest marshmallow schedule out there, dude. They got some Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man schedule. I don't know if they make
think
it through it undefeated.
Yeah, the way they haven't played a 60-minute football game, that's the biggest concern.
If they do make it through the East undefeated, I don't know if they win the SEC championship.
Because there's going to be an
Or
SEC
if they do
West
make it
team.
to the playoffs, I don't know if they,
They got to score some more points than what they've had, and
Yeah.
they got to play, like I said, more of a consistent game.
More of a consistent
they've had
game.
halves where they've completely disappeared, and then and then poof, here they come in the second half all of a sudden.
Yeah, or the fourth quarter like this one. We also had Michigan at Nebraska. Michigan pounded this one pretty good. Nebraska is still struggling,
The 90s look so far away.
and 90s are so far away there. 45-7. We had Kansas at Texas. I thought this one might be a little bit closer, but
Texas
40
put
to
the
14.
horn right in the whose house.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
We picked Texas to pull this line, and I told you I'm not going to cry for Kansas taking the L because they win enough basketball games. So Kansas can just take this L and put it right up on the shelf with all those basketball trophies. We had number 13 LSU at number 20 Ole Miss. I thought LSU had found themselves.
Well, what they found was an awful defense.
What they found was 55 points put up against them. Man, how do you give up 55 points
Brian
with the LSU
Kelly.
defense?
Oh, Brian Kelly. It's
I
as if.
saw today, I think their offense is like 13th and their defense is 117th right now.
Yeah, their coordinator, Matt House, on the defense is getting housed on Twitter.
117th ranked defense right now.
LSU?
Yeah.
That is unacceptable.
DBU.
No more.
No more right now.
I know someone who's an LSU fan who got disgusted and
I've
posted
got-
a Patrick
I've
meme.
got friends that are LSU fans too, and I really thought that LSU had it. I mean,
Lane Kiffin-
LSU had the West in their hand. Win out and you win the West. You're playing for the SEC championship. Win the SEC championship, you play for a national title.
And old Lane Kiffin
Lost that
comes in.
one game.
Lane Kiffin comes right in and stops them right in their track.
They need help now
Yep.
to do anything
Lane Kiffin
besides just have a good
outcoached
season.
Brian Kelly. I want to tell you this. Lane Kiffin outcoached him.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, that defense especially, he outcoached them. I mean, how many times did Ole Miss punt?
0, or was it 1?
Maybe once or
That's what I
twice.
say,
That's
once or
about
twice.
it through the whole football
If you score
game.
55 points, you're not punting too much.
Yep.
Let's jump on down. We had Oregon at Stanford. Oregon still looking strong. Won by 36, 42-6.
Stanford's bad. Oregon is what we thought we are.
Yeah, Oregon again. I think should have been a top 10 team from the beginning. We had Iowa State at Oklahoma. Oklahoma won by 30.
Brent
we
Venables
we
looks
had that
like
one
he's
figured.
revitalized the Sooners.
Yeah, the Sooners. It took last year they were questioning him, but this year it looks like he's got that team looking pretty good again. We had Notre Dame at Duke. Notre
What a
Dame,
tough game.
That was a tough game. I thought that Duke was going to pull that one out too, but they just couldn't find enough offense in the second half to get it done.
And I will admire Duke. They fought for a full 60 minutes, and they're definitely a good football
Well, it
team.
was 14-14 down to the last 30 seconds or so, and then
Notre Dame pulled the
Pulled
good
out-
old talent card.
pulled out the talent card at the end and stuck it into the end zone. Yeah. We had Alabama at Mississippi State. This one happened just like we thought, 40-17. Alabama.
That's an old
may have
school
found-
Alabama beat down right there.
I think they may have finally settled in on their quarterback and found their team just in time for Tennessee to go there and get killed here in about 3 weeks, anyways.
Brilliant.
We got the number 7 Washington Huskies at Arizona. They struggled a little bit with Arizona, but the Huskies still won by 7. I think the line on that was actually less than 10. So winning by 7 is not too
Arizona
bad.
doesn't seem to be bad. They're like
They're
3
not,
and 2.
They're not terrible. No, and that's it. That is all of our games for Week 5. Let's jump up into our predictions for Week 6. Tennessee
Is off on vacation.
is definitely going to win this week. They will beat the bye week. So clock up another W for Tennessee. No, yeah, Tennessee is on a bye week. They play in 2 weeks against Texas A&M, which should be a very good game. So let's jump on in. We have no Friday, no Thursday, no Friday, top 15 games. But we do have a barn burner.
And we got the Red River rivalry.
Yeah, we do
Oklahoma,
have
Texas.
Oklahoma at Texas, the Red River rivalry. I actually got it out without tripping all over it there. Texas is favored by 6.5. Texas is on fire right now. Oklahoma's not doing too bad. I still got to take probably Texas though.
You want to take the horns?
Yeah, I think the Texans are playing too good right now for Oklahoma to hang on. Again, I don't think Oklahoma's a bad team. They're 5-0. I should have looked up those stats. I wonder what the last time both teams were 5-0 going into this game.
Not very often, you'd
It's
think.
been
Been a while.
it's been quite some time since both of these. So this honestly is definitely one of our better games of the week. Texas
and
minus
it's a
6.5.
12 o'clock game.
I don't understand why you're putting it at noon Eastern time. That's 11 o'clock Central time. So I don't know why you wouldn't flex this down to at least a 3 o'clock game, if not a 7 o'clock game, because that is just it's just a fantastic game. I'll take it. Normally at noon we don't get a game worth of flip on us on a Saturday. You have to wait till the 3 o'clock
And
game
now we
to come
got
and get one.
Maryland at Ohio State.
Maryland
Maryland
at
is unbeaten.
Maryland is unbeaten, 5-0, going to Ohio State.
But Ohio State is a very talented team. and
Ohio State's favored by 20 over an unbeaten team.
I know people in my family who happen to be Ohio State fans or alum.
Yep, we do. Honestly, I probably gotta take Ohio State. I don't trust Maryland yet, and Ohio State could go very easy go in and win 38-13 or something. So Ohio State's ranked number 4 right now. Texas is number 3. I gotta take Ohio State minus 20 right now. We got the Washington State
Bringing them back into the top 15.
back into the top 15.
First time since Mike Leach all those years ago. Rest in peace.
Yep, rest in peace. They are 4-0.
And they're playing good football against the 3-1 Chip Kelly-led UCLA Bruins.
UCLA is unranked, but they're 3-1, and UCLA is actually favored
by 3.
by 3.5. I think.
Do you want to pick that upset?
Uh,
Are the chips flavorful or are the chips stale?
I'm gonna go Washington State.
You want to go Washington
I'm
State?
gonna go Washington State. I think that they are a feel-good story right now. I mean, they beat Oregon State. Oregon State's really, really good. So I'll lean on that. We got Virginia Tech at number 5. Florida State. Virginia Tech is really not very good this year.
Florida State is.
Florida State is. The line's 24.
I'll pick the Noles.
I'm picking the Noles. We got number 11, Alabama. They're still not top 10, but they're creeping up on it. Number 11, Alabama at Texas A&M. Texas A&M.
That's not an easy game.
Texas A&M has gave Alabama struggles the past couple of years.
So this is not a blowout game.
Oh, Alabama's favored by 2.5.
I might take that.
I'll probably still take Alabama. Alabama seems to be finding themselves now. As scary as that is, Alabama may be getting on a roll tide.
Oh, boy. That was a bad pun.
That was a bad one.
That was bad.
But Alabama does seem to be finding themselves right now. And at Texas A&M, minus 2.5. So you probably got to take Alabama. We got Syracuse popping into the top 15.
North Carolina.
North Carolina's number 14. Syracuse 4-1. North Carolina's 4-0. North Carolina's favored by 8. I'm taking North Carolina.
I'm going to take the Tar Heels.
Yeah. And then we got, this is probably one of the most interesting games to me. We got number 20, Kentucky. Yes, that's right. Kentucky has jumped up into the top 20. Why am I talking about it at number 20? Because they're playing a number 1.
Georgia. Of course it's at Georgia.
Kentucky just got through hammering Florida really easily.
They got some gator bait.
They got a transfer running back that came in from Vanderbilt playing at Kentucky right now, and he looks good. I mean, he looks really good. He ran all over Florida, but it's at Georgia. Georgia's struggling. I don't know. The line's 14.5. Do you think Georgia beats Kentucky by 14.5?
They will eventually.
I think they will too.
Eventually. That's the key. They have to play a full 60-minute game.
Mm-hmm. It may be the fourth quarter when Georgia scores 14 points. But Georgia's going to trip up one of these days doing that. But this is still Georgia, and it's 14.5 points. I'm probably going to go Georgia. We got number 2 Michigan at Minnesota. Minnesota's not a bad team this year, but Michigan's doing really good.
Well, Minnesota blew a 21-point lead in the fourth quarter to Northwestern. That should probably tell you all that you need to know about that result.
Michigan seems to be finding a little bit of offense now. They were struggling a little bit with offense first now, but they're scoring what? They scored 38 last week. They're scoring
45.
Yeah, they're scoring in the 30s and 40s now. So Michigan minus 19, we'll go with that. We got number 10 Notre Dame. Notre Dame's really got a brutal schedule this year, really.
And then they got an unbeaten Louisville
team
going
at
Louisville.
At a unbeaten 5-0 Louisville.
They got a good schedule, though. That's no cupcake schedule.
No,
that's 3 straight ranked teams.
3 straight. Yeah, that's Notre Dame's got some real. Got some real
2
games.
of those on the road.
Yeah, I mean that's tough. Notre Dame's favored by 6.5.
I might pick the Irish because it's hard to really tell what Louisville is.
Yeah, they haven't played the best teams in the world yet.
If they beat Notre Dame, though, that will change.
That will change. Right now, though, we got to take Notre Dame minus 6.5. We got number 15, Oregon State.
The Beavers are back.
The Beavers are back at Cal. Cal's okay, but they're not really good. Oregon's favored by 9.5. I mean, Oregon State. I'm going to take Oregon State.
Yeah.
And our last game of the week, We got Arizona at USC.
USC will score a bunch of points. They will give up a crap ton of points.
They're favored by 21.5. Do you think they beat Arizona by 21.5?
If their defense stops them.
I don't think I've been putting my trust in USC's basket. I'm taking it out. I think they're going to win, but not by 21.5. Arizona's not a terrible team.
They got to improve the defense, though, for me to really take them super duper serious.
I still think USC scores 35-40, but
they do.
But I mean, if they score 42 and give up 27,
that's not gonna.
That's not 21.
Well,
And I think they give up 27.
Actually,
this week.
28 would be not 21.
Yeah. Well, 28, yeah. I mean, 42 to 28, 27, 42 to 25, 42 to 24s. But, yeah. So, I'm going to actually take a little Arizona plus 21.5 that week. And that's it. That is it for college football. Covering week 5 and our predictions for week 6. We hope you had a little fun with us. Thanks for stopping by again. Thanks again for SevereTV.com for setting us up here. Thanks again for Autographs Plus for sponsoring us. They got 2 locations again. One in Sevierville, one in Pigeon Forge. I think they got a buy two get one free sale going on. The Funkos right now, so stop by and check them out. Otherwise, check us out again next week for more football.
See you next week.